Okie dokie. Guess who's 2 months sober? I am. I hope I'm recorded. Let's put the microphone on. Oh, we'll see. Maybe I didn't turn the microphone on. Maybe I'm going to talk for half an hour and then I have to do it all over again, which is okay because we have to persevere. We have to have persistence and we have to keep working through our struggles. There are times when I record these podcasts and I'm just like, oh, I don't like what I said. And I'll stop the whole thing like 20 minutes into it and then I'll just redo it again, but persistence pays off, right? Sometimes. And then sometimes it just drives us crazy and then we give up and we go, oh, I'm just going to get a drink. Forget it. I'm not going to apply myself to anything. And then, you get back in that loop of, oh, I know all these people at the bar. They all know me. We're all going to get drunk and not remember anything that we did or said. We'll just know that we had spent and wasted our time at the bar. And, if that's what you need, that's what you need. I'm not trying to shame anybody. I've certainly done it. So welcome back. We are a couple of days away from New Year's. And I just recently made an episode about preparing for not drinking. Like, how do you not drink on New Year's? And I made some suggestions. And so today I want to talk about the importance of preparing for not drinking or preparing for anything. So on New Year's Day, I'm actually going to prepare for a fast. So I'm gonna fast on the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. But what I'm not going to do, just like drinking, what I'm not gonna do with the fasting is I'm not going to treat the last day as like, well, it's my last meal, so I want lobster and pizza rolls and Pop-Tarts, and I'm gonna dunk the Pop-Tarts on my oatmeal. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna set myself up. That's setting myself up for disaster the next day. Because after you just digest all that food, you might think like one way of thinking about it is like, well, I'll fast for 3 days. I'll just eat 3 days worth of food. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. You're gonna wake up the next day like craving food, One of the things about, so the hunger hormone is called ghrelin. That, if you eat 3 times a day, roughly, if you didn't eat, you'd probably feel hungry how many times a day? 3. If you only ate about 1 time a day, you would probably have one massive craving for food. Your stomach starts grumbling, you know what hunger feels like. But so what I'm not gonna do is eat all throughout the day and just decide like today is a buffet and then because I'm not gonna be eating for the next 3 days. I'm not gonna do that. But and also what I'm not gonna do is I'm not drinking. But if you're drinking and you're gonna start the year new on January 1st, well, what did you do on January 31st to make sure that you had success for January 1st? Are you gonna drink all of the 31st? Are you gonna drink all New Year's Eve and then go into the new year, which time is an illusion? That's a different podcast, but time is an illusion. You're gonna start the first day of the year with alcohol in your system? That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. So what are we gonna do? Today is, again, I don't like dating these videos, but today is, I think, the 30th. And so tomorrow is New Year's Eve, I think. Oh, hold on a second. I got my days all messed up. Today is the 30th. Okay, yeah, so tomorrow is New Year's Eve. And oh yeah, today's Wednesday. Sorry. Anyway, so New Year's Eve is tomorrow. And what am I gonna do today to prepare for Friday? Friday is New Year's Day. Today is Wednesday. I'm preparing for Friday. And I'm not going to prepare for Friday by drinking heavily today and then drinking also on New Year's Eve and then just quitting on New Year's Day. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. You could definitely quit cold turkey. For some of you that might work well. You might say like, I'm not doing it. No, everything. Like, no. Like, what else are you going to quit? Comment below. Are you just going to quit alcohol or are you going to quit sugar too? But be mentally prepared for it. That's a big change. If you ate sugar all, like we've been through our whole lives. The second you're born, they put a little bit of sugar on a pacifier and they stick that in your mouth and your brain goes, ooh, happy chemicals. And then like you're a sugar addict for your whole life. That happens. That's a real thing. So are you gonna get rid of sugar and then all of a sudden like you're gonna be like, cool, you're gonna wake up and you're like, oh, I'm not having sugar. I already got an 8-hour head start. I slept last night, I didn't have any sugar. So I'm gonna wake up and like, I'll just go through my normal routine. Like, let's go downstairs and turn lights off and we're gonna make some coffee and then And then I'm gonna put some sugar. Oh, wait a minute, I can't put sugar in there. All right, I'll put my creamer in there. And you start pouring your creamer in there. It's like French vanilla. No, there's sugar in it, So are you gonna walk into it? Are you gonna go into it cold, like cold-minded? Don't do that. It's all about preparation. I talked about in the last one. Preparation is very, very important. Be prepared for like where all of the roadblocks are gonna come from, like where all the traps are gonna come from. So let's just stick with the alcohol. I'll talk a little bit about fasting too, but with the alcohol, what's your day gonna be like on New Year's Day? Some of you are probably not gonna have to work because it's a holiday, New Year's Day. But this is 2020 is a really good year to actually stick to your New Year's resolutions if you're not drinking, because if you're gonna drink on New Year's Eve on Thursday, then I would suspect you have Friday off, Saturday off, and then Sunday off. So and that's the hardest. The first 3 days are the hardest, in my opinion. I don't know if there's science and literature behind it, but there has to be. With my experience and other people's experience, like the first few days are the worst. The first week is also bad, but the first 3 days, I feel like if you can get through the first 72 hours, that's usually the catalyst for a lot of things. That's usually the point where you start to see the best benefits for fasting, for sobriety, where the cravings are the most intense for cigarettes, sugar, everything else, whatever addictions that you do have. So when we're gonna go into New Year's Day, we gotta prepare, all right? I know I go off on tangent, so I'm gonna be as clear as I can possibly be right now. Prepare today for tomorrow for the next day. And so whatever deal you have with yourself, you might say like, I'm gonna wean myself off of alcohol. Not a bad plan. I'm not advocating that you drink, but if you're drinking 10 drinks a day and you gotta get down to 0 drinks a day, okay, do whatever you gotta do. Maybe, I don't wanna say have 5 drinks today, but like, you get what I'm saying. Let's use a better example. Let's say if you have 4 drinks a day, maybe today you're gonna have 2, and tomorrow's New Year's Eve, maybe you'll just have the 1 drink when the ball drops, if you can even manage to stay up until midnight anymore, because it's 2020. It's as soon as the sun goes down, I'm like, is it time to go to bed yet? But plus I live in Cleveland, Ohio. It's cold out. It's like when I see the snow, like I'm a tropical person. I want to be in the sun. So if anybody has a property in a warm place that you want to give me, please send me a message. Let me know in the comments below. Get a house for me in Austin, Texas, in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Puerto Rico. Let me know. So prepare. Wean yourself off of whatever it is that you're struggling with. If it's cigarettes, if it's alcohol, if it's whatever sugar, have a little bit less today than you had yesterday, and have even less tomorrow. And then you're gonna go into it with momentum. It's really important that you have momentum, because the momentum is either massively negatively behind you, because if you're a sugar junkie and you go to New Year's Day, you were a sugar junkie on New Year's Eve, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to be fit and fiddle on New Year's Day. No way. I'm not saying I don't believe in you. I'm just saying like I don't believe in you. That's all. It's really hard. That's all. I'll say that. It's really hard. Don't do that to yourself, right? If it was anything else, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get off heroin on New Year's Day, so we're gonna do all of the heroin New Year's Eve. It's like, well, on New Year's Day, then you're gonna want all the heroin again, right? It doesn't matter whatever you're addicted to. Just fill in the blank: meth, heroin, sugar, tobacco, caffeine. Wean yourself off of it. So prepare, get yourself ready for it. Like I've never done a fast for more than 3 days. I've never done a fast for more than 1 day. I've done intermittent fasting. If you intermittent fast, comment below. But prepare yourself for this big journey. And know that it's gonna be difficult. You're still going to have cravings. Sit and observe the cravings until they go away. Maybe make a game out of it. Say maybe make yourself today on New Year's Eve, part of New Year's Eve preparation I talked about in the last episode. Plan out your week. Plan out the first week. What is your first week gonna look like? Schedule in, time slot things like the gym, or you're gonna work on this project, or you're gonna tackle that one room in the house that has all the junk in it. Like you're gonna tackle a little bit, an hour a day, just an hour of organizing a day. An hour of gym a day. Schedule it in. Studies show that you are definitely more likely of achieving and accomplishing a goal and sticking to that goal when you do what? Write it down. So write it down. It's very, very important to have the plan set up. I like to start my day when I'm in bed. I share my memes. I gotta share the memes, and I gotta see how many shares and likes I got on the memes from last night. But anyway, different story. So we do our memes, and then I schedule out my day in the morning. On top of what I already have in my normal calendar, my Google Calendar, but I have a separate app on my phone where I say okay, even if it's something small, I'm like, get out of bed. I don't know, writing with a quill pen. Get out of bed, boom, make the bed, boom, drink 12 ounces of water, bam. And then momentum's happening. By the time I've gotten up, I've already made the bed, I've drank the water, I've done my memes, and now I'm gonna go ahead and start tackling the rest of my day. Get that momentum going, right? So planning out your day is gonna be really, really important. Planning ahead the next few days so you know what to expect, so that you're occupying all that time in that space that you would have normally occupied with drinking or drinking activities. And knowing what will you reach for? Plan what you're gonna drink. What's gonna be the substitute? If you wanna go through the motions, if you really like the taste of beer, I don't know, beer's kind of disgusting, to be honest. But meanwhile, I have a case of Beck's non-alcoholic up in my refrigerator. But I have that in there for when I want to go through the motions, when I feel like I'm just gonna kick back and I'm gonna do some work, I'm gonna edit these podcasts, and I want to have a beer with it. But it's not, it's not an alcoholic beer, but I'm gonna go through the motions. The thing to my face, it's cold, it's something I'm used to, it's a reward thing, right? If you smoke, you might say oh, well, I need to break up the time and the space. I need to break up, I reward myself with you associate a cigarette, if you smoke, with a break. I got a break from doing this shitty job I don't like doing. My boss is getting on my nerves, or my partner is doing this, or so-and-so is doing that, or some other news is affecting me, and now my nerves are going, I need a cigarette. And hopefully you don't need a cigarette now after me saying that, but you gotta have some sort of replacement. What are you gonna replace it with? Nothing is gonna feel like that cigarette, just like nothing is gonna feel like the drink. But we need to replace it with something healthy. We need to schedule ourselves. If you're just going into it well, I don't know. I just know that I'm supposed to be sober, and my intentions are really good. It's just really hard right now because I don't know. I watched all of the TV. I watched all TV. I watched all of it. I watched all of Hulu, and I don't know what to do now. And it's if you don't have a plan, you have nothing to reference. You have nothing to go back to. It's really easy for me to look at my plan, to look at my phone when I wake up in the morning. I chart out my day, and I know I leverage some of what I feel like doing with and against what I have to do. So that's kind of fun, nothing. Life can't be. If life was just super fun all the time, well, what would fun be? That would just be normal, right? Pain makes pleasure better, and when you can step back and be grateful and show gratitude for the things that you have and the ways that you have actually won the lottery, by being born in a first world country, that's winning the lottery. You didn't choose where you were born, right? If you had two parents, you may have won the lottery. If your parents were nice to you, you may have won the lottery. If you had an education, if you went to college, you may have won the lottery. It depends on what you look at, how you look at it and what you're grateful for. So tackle the day with a plan, stick to the plan, and prepare to execute that plan. You have a couple of days left before it's time to execute those plans. Wean yourself off of whatever it is that you're having trouble with, and then go into that first day with all of the positive momentum, not with all the negative momentum. Don't treat the 31st like a buffet for bullshit. Treat the 31st as it was the last of the last. It's the last fumes, the last maybe little drag, the drag or two, the one cigarette. You whittle yourself down to a cigarette. You whittle yourself down to you just had the one drink at midnight. You made the entire day. You rewarded yourself for that day. Again, that's a reward pleasure center. But you had the one drink at midnight if that's what you're going to do. You also decided to be the designated driver. So you allowed everybody else to have the fun time while you were the responsible one and you were the selfless one. You were selfishly selfless, right? That's a fun thing that I like to do. I'm being selfish getting something for me, but like I'm, being selfless for others. So that's also too, like, here's an example. I'm making a podcast about me getting sober and hoping to help positively influence and affect other people. So maybe on New Year's Eve, you're gonna make a podcast. Maybe you're gonna start a new journey. Maybe you're gonna document it. Maybe you're gonna start a journal and all of the ways that you feel good and the ways that you feel bad and how surprisingly you felt good and how surprisingly like you didn't think it's not paying off, and you're just gonna observe all of those feelings. It takes quite an effort. You gotta go out of your way to drink, unless you have like alcohol in your house, which suggestion, get rid of the alcohol in your house. Don't just sit like, well, I spent money on it. Get rid of it. Give it to somebody. Give it to somebody else. Give it to your neighbor. I don't know. Just get it out of the house. Don't have that temptation staring at you in the face. Like I've gotten rid of I have no temptations. I have a couple of temptations in the house, but none that I have a problem with. And I've taken the stuff out of sight and it's out of sight, out of mind. So like I don't want to, like I had there was something in the bathroom. I'm not going to say what it was, but there was something in one of my bathrooms that I frequent. It was like every time I looked in the mirror, it was right there. It was right under the mirror. And I would look in the mirror and I go, look at the thing. And I look in the mirror, I look at the thing and I go, okay, no. But I'd have to look at it and go, oh, no, okay, no, okay, no, okay, no. And that's a lot. That's a lot of times. I gotta pee a lot of times a day and I gotta go in the bathroom, wash my hands and see the thing. So I was like, forget taking that thing out of the bathroom. And it wasn't even for me anyway, it was for guests. So you're probably curious, what is this thing I'm talking about? But anyway, get rid of these things, so we can start our new year with new practices, new approaches, and hopefully we're gonna have new success. And you are gonna comment below. Comment every day. I'll write you back. So like, I don't just post memes before I go to bed. That's usually when I respond. So Eastern time, if you get a response, you'll probably get a response from me at Eastern time at nighttime, anywhere between 9 a.m. and midnight. So just like, hey Jay, today was a struggle, but got through it. Cool. Like I will definitely message you back. But this is 17 minutes and I highly doubt anybody's even listening anymore. So good luck to you. And I look forward to hearing about your journey. And tell me all the new things that you're doing. If you're going to the gym, you're starting that new project, you're cutting out the bad things, and be kind with yourself too. Like you're not perfect. If you're perfect, comment below. Let me know what your secret is, but you're probably not perfect. I want to know, like, if you have a slip up day, I'm going to tell you, if you have a slip up day, it is not a reason. It is not a reason to just fall completely off the wagon. Depends on how hard we're cheating. But it's not uncommon for folks in your position to have a day. Well, it was my significant other's birthday and all of our friends and family came over and I had a drink, and I had a friend of mine around Thanksgiving told me, she was like, took me aside and she was like, I just wanted to tell you that I had a drink the other day. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I care, but like, that's your journey. Like, and it seemed like it was a holiday, it was Thanksgiving and people were seeing friends and relatives and family. And then, if it was limited to that one actual occasion, not because it was like Taco Tuesday, half margaritas are half off. It was Thanksgiving. Okay. Like it was Christmas. All right, fine. Like, there are going to be some occasions where you might want to celebrate. I get it. But don't be so hard on yourself. Let it just be in the past. Whatever happened. Just treat it like Vegas. We're not going to talk about it. And then just pick back up on Monday and just, back to the grind. We're never going to tell anybody what happened until we die. And even then we might not tell anybody about Vegas or, your little drinking binge. So good luck to you. And I will talk to you soon. Good luck. I don't know what to do with my hands. Goodbye.